Oh my God, the New Yorkers are coming. The New Yorkers are coming. That's all I hear. That's all I hear. That's all I hear lately. People from New York that I know calling me upstate, everybody like, oh, they're all headed your way. They're all headed your way. Again, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. And apparently, neither does Realtor.com, if their new reports are to be believed. But the FOMO that everyone is pushing about the New Yorkers coming to buy up everything, not seeing it. Not seeing it in Southwest Florida. You know, they have articles that they're saying, oh, yeah, once over in Miami, once the election results were in, properties that were sitting on the market for months went pending overnight. Oh, they were going for asking price. There was no contingency. Stop it. Stop. And then they give like one anecdotal example where that occurred. Stop. And they're all anecdotal examples, guys. You can't convince me that for some reason, come November 6th, after the New York election, all of a sudden Miami lit up. No. Have we seen increased seasonal activity? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I've been reporting that. We've been seeing it all over the state. Is it still recovered to the type it was in the pandemic? No, not even close. So, I don't know. Taking the seasonal uptick, I mean, the narrative has been all fall that buyers are here in more numbers than they usually are. But then to spin it into the New York nonsense and try to create the FOMO, it's getting pushed so hard, guys. And I don't know what's more ridiculous. This, 50-year mortgages, portable mortgages, 15-year car loans. It's just stupidity to me, all around. Stupidity. And it's affecting, like I said, it's affecting people here. I've got agents talking like, oh, worst is behind us, Ben. Yep. People are going to wish in Punta Gorda that they bought last year because those prices are gone forever. Already, guys, we're what? 5 months removed out of season? Maybe, and technically not because we had a strong summer and we had a strong fall, and you're already telling me it's over. The worst is over. I don't think it's over. The worst may be over. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see 20% price declines over the next 2 years again, but I don't know if we should be, they're ringing the dinner bell already. It's like, here we go. Everyone's going to wish. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But as far as the New Yorkers go, take a look at this from Realtor.com. There it is, guys. Where are New Yorkers searching, at least searching on their site, the most for homes? Well, wouldn't you know it? It's New York. It's the same place they are. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, that makes sense if they're going to leave at all. Florida's not even in the top 3. We are on number 4, though. But currently, the search volume, and again, this is going to take months to play out if this occurs. It's not going to happen overnight. But the search volume doesn't seem to be supporting the narrative that is being thrown around everywhere, that everybody's fleeing, everybody's running, and here they come. Well, it looks like they're actually just looking in New York, according to this. So I wish everybody would pump the brakes, at least for now, and stop trying to get everyone to FOMO dive in with this crap. As I said, this is causing sellers here to come back on the market with elevated prices from what they left the market in the great delisting of 2025. They're coming back, but they're raising their prices. And like I've said before, guys, buyers are savvy. I mean, it's not hard to scroll down Zillow and see that you just had this on the market for 10% less and it didn't sell, and now you've bumped the price up. That's such a risky proposition to me. I mean, we're nowhere near, like I said, an environment of increasing prices. So, pretty bold. Pretty bold, if you ask me. I don't know if it's going to work out. And a lot of you guys, super educated on the real estate market. You're watching real estate YouTube video. You know what I mean? I get it. But if a new survey from the National Association of Realtors is to be believed, which I will link in the description, most buyers don't seem concerned with price to the degree that you think they would. So they go into some details on what they discovered about buyers for 2025 so far. And according to them, 88% used an agent. So obviously sounds great for the National Association of Realtors, sounds great for agents, but 12% didn't. And I think that, dude, if you could buy a house by yourself, awesome. Some of you guys can. I mean, you're talking, investors probably don't look for agents for the usefulness that you would find here, but yeah, you can absolutely buy a house by yourself. I don't think you need to use an agent. Do I think there's benefits as an agent? Obviously. Yeah. What am I going to tell you? But I do tell everybody, keep in mind, since I am a real estate agent, everything I say to you, always keep in the back of your head. I get paid if you buy a house, guys. And I tell all my customers that. I'm very upfront about it. So 50% of them chose to go this route because they wanted help finding the right property. Just merely a search. That's it. You need to find me what I'm looking for, which is, bare bones. I don't find a lot of people, at least that I work with, need that as much anymore. Most of you guys, like I said, very educated, kind of know the areas, do a lot of research. I tell you what, guys, a lot of, and this might shock all of you, but a lot of people who make offers on homes that I see, they already know who owns it. They already know where their family's from. They know where their kids go to college. You can find it all on Facebook and stuff like that. And, that may sound a little creepy at first, but that's what's out there. You have the ability to do this. They know, how much they owe on their mortgage. They know when they bought the property. They know what other properties sometimes it can get, you could have a whole profile on somebody and, they're trying to buy their house. That wasn't possible. God, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it's nuts. It's kind of nuts. So, there's definitely a different kind of buyer as compared to someone who doesn't, research the way that maybe some of my viewers may. But 50% of buyers just wanted help finding the house. And you have area experts for that. Absolutely. I get it. Only 13% wanted help negotiating terms. Now, I don't really know how to take that. That seems low. I don't know how to take that. 12%, only 12% wanted help with price negotiations. Trying to rectify that as well. So terms and price account for only 25% of the respondents saying that's why I chose to work with an agent. That's probably seeming low to you guys. It seems low to me. But again, you would be surprised how many people are comfortable paying retail for just about everything in their life. I'm a little excessive. I had a guy I used to hang out with, iron worker in Manhattan, and we would go to a store. He'd pick up like 3 or 4 shirts, be like, all right, I want these shirts. Get to the cash register and go, what are you going to do for me? And I'd be like, what? What is this guy doing? And he would walk away if they didn't give him like 5% or something. And they always did. So I started doing it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I just, people are of that mindset all in all aspects of their life, or they're not. I don't find it's like, okay, I'll negotiate on a house, but I don't care what I pay on a car. And apparently it's really only 25% who want help with terms and negotiations, which is crazy. That's crazy. So when people ask me, Ben, who is paying these prices? Ben, who is accepting this? Some of the stuff that, people may deem unreasonable, it's potentially 75% of the other buyers out there. That's just how it is, guys. People, they do it every day. They don't research deals. They walk into a store, they buy whatever it says there. That's just life. That's life. And a lot of it comes down to the monthly payment for people. If the monthly payment makes sense, they don't really care what the price tag is on the item they're purchasing, unfortunately. And, does that benefit everyone? No, I don't believe it does. Because then you're just overpaying, and now you're setting expectations for other people overpaying. Again, me personally, it's not the way I run business. I know a lot of you guys don't, but it's looking like the vast majority, at least for home purchases, they kind of do. What's up, Palisade? Say what's up in the comments if you know who I am. Or if that was you saw me. I don't know. Walking through Westport here today again. Moved up this way, so you're probably going to see a lot of me out here. And yeah. Didn't make it to Welland Park. Just couldn't bite that chunk off. That was a little steep. Things are still a little steep there. So, but I'll be up there. I still do a lot of work there, a lot of work, really all up and down Southwest Florida. Very fortunate. Everybody keeping me busy. It's been a wild year, a wild year. Currently a top producer in my office, and just got to thank all the wonderful people that keep calling me and choosing to work with me. It's really humbling. It really is. I don't know. Just thanks, guys. It's really nice, and I appreciate everybody who tunes in, everybody who comments. I try to read every comment because you're nice enough to leave it. I try to come and say something if I can, but sometimes obviously I can't get to all of them. But yeah, it's been a wild year. So we're gonna see how this relisting goes at higher prices for some sellers. Maybe they're banking on the 75% of people who aren't looking to negotiate on price. But even terms, I mean, like I said, buyers are pretty stern on their terms, and 1 in 7 deals nationwide falling apart, about 30% here. So if you're not going to do it on the price, you're going to want to get your own terms. And sometimes, guys, those aren't mutually exclusive. Sometimes you can get a good price or you can get good terms, and you can't get both. Sometimes you can get both. It's kind of gone every way for me, but we'll see. Maybe that's what the sellers are banking on. I have seen a couple of sellers come on and get super aggressive. I mean, even prices, like I mentioned over here in the hammocks, the builders are doing some serious deals in there right now. They're looking to close this out. So I don't know. I think you're rolling the dice. It's not going to be investors. I'll tell you that. Investors still not showing up, guys. Ghost town. And it makes sense because the rental market is terrible here. It's so bad. And honestly, the prices haven't declined for rents to the extent that I really thought they would. I mean, there's rents down considerably, but they're still too high. They're still too high to support the wages here. It's just, and you know what? That's putting Southwest Florida in a very precarious situation. We are having a humongous construction boom here. This is the most construction Southwest Florida has ever seen across the area. And they're projecting Florida Development of Economic Opportunity, or Department, is projecting an 11% growth in construction jobs by 2032. They're not going to stop. We know this, guys. They're not going to stop building. They're not going to stop developing. Every time they put one of these places around, go down on Jones Loop. D.R. Horton dropped one community there. There are several retail centers being put up immediately because that is what people want. People want, I want to get out of my house, maybe bike to the store. And they're turning the vast majority of Southwest Florida into that. Now, whether you think that's a good or bad thing, yeah, they're cutting down all of nature. It sucks. So it is surprising then that they're still outsourcing all of these construction jobs. The majority of these construction jobs, guys, get outsourced because locals can't afford the rent. And I feel bad because they went to FGCU and they're interviewing these professors and these teachers of these tech schools. And they're like, we're so optimistic. We have so many bright students coming out looking to get in the labor field. And it's like, okay, but what are they going to get paid? Where are they going to live? Where are they going to live, guys? That's the problem. What are they going to get paid here? If you're outsourcing labor, which you're telling me you are, probably not enough. I mean, and I've seen it. That's some of the people propping up the rental market. I mean, it did it after the hurricane. They would have guys come from every other state, laborers. Desperate landlords would basically allow them to cram 6 to 10 guys in a house while they stayed here for a few months and worked. And that's still kind of going on. But that bolstered our market for a little bit after Hurricane Ian and somewhat Helene. But the rental market is a disaster. Still a disaster. So sellers, I wouldn't count on investors coming either to purchase that. No New Yorkers, in my opinion. Not here. Maybe Boca Raton, maybe West Palm over there. Maybe Naples. We'll get a few. No investors. So pricing high is risky. And we still have investors selling off, guys. That's another thing people don't. It's just been year after year. It seems like wave after wave of them who tried to hang on are letting go finally and saying, I don't even care if I break even on the price, Well, so they're your competition too, guys, because investors bought a ton a ton of these new construction homes. They bought new construction everywhere. Some of them were just flipping contracts. They're buying a house for $200,000, flipping it to the next guy for $300K, saying, sayonara, I made $100,000. Crazy. And when those became too expensive, as you guys know, the investors moved to condos. They moved to cheaper homes, older homes, and then, I don't know, dumped a whole bunch of money into them. One I saw recently, which again, not using an agent, for sale by owner, is going to take a loss on this at the end of the day. But I wanted to poke through and see what you guys thought of this one. So this is just one example of the properties I'm talking about. It's a for sale by owner here in Northport. Very nice pool area. We will get into all that. They're asking $500,000. That is what they paid for this several years ago. So you got 4 beds, 2 baths, 1,700 square feet on this property. Actually built in 2013. So you have a 2022 pool, a 2013 home. Not bad. And in the write-up, they're very clearly telling you this is a fully furnished, true turnkey investment or move-in ready property. So they do have current rental income is already secured. From what I saw on Facebook, they were saying there's around $12,000. I didn't know if that was basically a month or for the whole season. A month, that seems pretty high. This is waterfront. So it's got a nice write-up. I don't know, convenient access to Siesta Key and maybe Boca Grande. I don't know about Siesta Key. But when you write these up, guys, you know, again, it's for sale by owner. You want to take the Chat GPT prompts out of the bottom. You don't want to copy those in there. You want to remove this and just copy the rest. You copy the write-up. You don't copy the prompts. You get what I'm saying? So what's got me shocked is this is 5 days on Zillow. 7,000 views. This is the highest views I think I've ever seen on a home. I don't think I've ever seen that many in 5 days, but only 73 saves, which is an abysmal 1% save rate. This needs to be at least 10% these days, in my opinion. It used to only need to be 5, but that's really low. So I'm wondering why so many views and so little saves. As you can see right here, guys, this is waterfront property. It's going to take you a while to get down the river. If you want to get to the Gulf, it's going to take an exceedingly long time, but it is waterfront property. So before we see why this is such a harsh loss for this investor, let's take a look at what it is inside. The pictures are not the best, guys. These are low quality. I don't know if it's a cell phone. I mean, they're shot well, but for some reason they seem very pixelated. I can't get clearer photos. Here's your new pool area. 1-car garage, kind of tough. Now I want to pause on this specific photo here for a second, guys, because you can see the hose is in the pool. And I'll tell you, if, you know, just as a real estate agent, people don't like to see this. Also, I don't know why the table and seating area is completely submerged there. But it's in the photos here too. It's in the photos there. So people start to wonder, why are you running the hose in the pool, specifically in November? You know what I'm saying? There's going to be evaporation, but this kind of stuff. And when I go to show homes and I see this in there, it's a bad look, sellers. Just even if it's, you know, not anything nefarious, if you're just filling the pool because you lost some evaporation, I would say probably get that out of there for showings and pictures. But, you know, again, this is not professionally listed. I am wondering if this is a frame house. I'll have to take a look for that too, just by the way the windows are. Usually if the windows are flush, it's frame. If they're receding, it's block. I can't really tell here. But as you can see, they spent a lot of money on the pool area. That's why they're highlighting that at first. But even inside the house, for 2013, this is a pretty spacious home. It's got a really nice great room here. You don't really have a dining area. They put it over here, but it's got a tray ceiling. It's got the crown. It's got what was in style at the time. The flooring, it might be, I don't know. I don't know if that's tile. It looks like it. But it was definitely what was in style at the time. It's a little darker tone than what people like to see today. But I think this is very nicely done in here. And not bad. I mean, really not bad all around. The bathroom looks nice. Everything looks clean. Again, this was a rental property, and we'll take a look at that too. But yeah, let's get down to the pricing. So it turns out, guys, that is actually a block house. I checked the tax record. The land originally sold for $18,000 in 2013. They built the house immediately and asked $260,000. Stayed on the market for almost 2 years, and almost 2 years, and eventually got $200,000 for this home without the pool. It comes back on the market. Oh boy, 7 years later for $525,000. And keep in mind, this pool was just added in 2022. So actually, this investor didn't buy it and then put the pool in. That's interesting. So comes on for $525 in 2023, drops the price a little, gets sold. This guy picks it up for $498. $1,000 less than he is looking to get rid of it for now. Looks like he just wants to get out from under it. Listed for rent for $5,000 in April of 2025, and then for some reason jumps $3,000 a month in rent. So they might have been asking this annually, and then this went to seasonal. Looks like they got it though. Looks like they got the seasonal rent. I'm assuming that's why they took it off the market. But wow, really only 1 year of renting this, and then hey, I'm done. I'm selling this off. So I don't know if that is what's causing so many. So many views with just so little saves is very, very baffling to me. Does Zillow have any sort of estimated market value for this? No. Interesting. Yeah, $500,000 for this house with water access. What do you guys think? This is one of the examples of someone who bought recently as an investment, tried it out for a year, decided it wasn't for them, and now it's back on the market. So getting ready to close out 2025, guys, and that's where we are. Investors still selling off across Southwest Florida. Some sellers still holding on that this is going to be the one that turns it around. And like I said, the bleeding may not be as severe as it's been, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that this season is going to be the end of it. We'll see. I'll keep you posted through 2025 and 2026. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, if you like this content, give me a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.